I told you so. I told you so. I think I told you all. I told you so. Yeah, that's a little bit of my little I told you so dance. I'll do the full dance in a few more months. And what I'm referring to is the correction we are seeing in the hobby. And let me explain what I mean by it. Let me help define this for people out there. The hobby is a hobby. Sports cards are more like beanie babies than they are stocks. Okay. And the people, I will gently call them the grifters that keep telling you that you can that this is a stock and it's a better investment long term and go with the goats and all that stuff. Look, they don't know what they're talking about, guys. We are correcting back to what happened before the madness of the last few years. We're going back in time. Yeah, way back, like 3 or 4 years to where people collected cards because they liked them and there was value in rarity or exclusivity. Kind of novel, right? Isn't that interesting? I don't care if you graded a base card and PSA told you it's a 10, it's still a base card. Okay. And if anything, there are more base cards today than there probably ever were. Right. I heard a video about what there's 500 different um, um, Herbert cards. Let's just assume that each one of those only had 100,000 being printed, only 100,000. There's a buttload of those cards out there. So, as I've been calling it before, we're seeing a correction in the hobby. Now, a few things still need to happen, and a few things I'm going to continue to poke. One of those corrections is we need to get the grifters, the criminals, the bad element of the hobby out. And that's going to be harder than I think. In fact, I skeptically don't think we ever will. But I do think the correction might help drive them out because when there's not as much money or opportunity to grift new people or steal from new people in the hobby, then maybe they'll move on to something else. Maybe they'll go back to real estate. And I'm talking to you, Jessie Craig. Yeah, let's talk about Jessie Craig for a moment. I did a video the other day about all the influencers who are out there talking about PWCC and having Jessie Craig on. In fact, it sickens me that Jeremy and Chris, Card Ladder and Sports Card Live, are going to do a PWC event, watching the PWC auctions. Why don't you just, join, I don't know, Grifters Conference or something like that? I mean, guys, let me try to control my frustration here. PWCC is a bad company. They've been a bad company forever. If they were in drug dealing, some other cartel would have put them down. If they were in stocks, somebody would have arrested them and put them in prison. But because they're in sports cards, they continue to do what they do. Now, look, I'll drop links again for the video on Heroes of Sports, which is what Jessie Craig was involved in. One of the worst notorious repack products in the hobby, but it went on for years and touched many people, including many breakers, right? Many major retailers. And this is, again, let me just say, while I'm on my little tangent, the one thing I welcome that Fanatics does, and Fanatics, if you're paying attention, don't hire the grifters from the companies you are going to crush. Move forward brand new. The reason that people are frustrated with Fanatics is Fanatics sees, as the guy said, the collecting experience is a difficult one. It is. It's not just I have to deal with buying products or racing to get them at a Walmart. I got to deal with every grifter in the hobby trying to steal from me, right? Trying to sell me something I don't need, right? There's just too much of it. Okay. I love competition, love free markets, but it is not a free market if there's no policing. If think about the Wild West, if you could rape, kill, murder, and then the next day you were at the saloon again because there was no hangings going on, there'd be a problem, guys. We need to hang a few of the companies in the hobby. Now, look, I know I've had a beef in the past with Card Ladder, and that was actually small in comparison to what we've seen from companies like Alt and PWCC, right? I can't get over it. Like, I think the one that's getting me right now, and I did come to find out that it was apparently PWCC has been reaching out to influencers to do interviews, right? They've been promoting, they're pushing, right? Because they got kicked off eBay. Everybody knows this. They got kicked off eBay because they're guilty. Because if they weren't guilty, they'd have a freaking, a stake to stand on, and they don't. There's no lawsuit they're going to do against eBay. They have no technical proof that they didn't do it. And the guys just sit there and defend, well, shilling's so big. Dude, don't give me vague shilling. eBay had technical proof, technology proving that these guys were doing what they're doing. They had to in order to take the balls to kick them off. But instead of us sitting there and going, yep, PWC, bad company, goodbye, you guys are throwing them all freaking ropes, right? Lucas, Tigers and Bronze, Jeremy, Card Slab. I mean, who is it next? Now, I will say one of my good friends who's an influencer, and I'm not going to use his name, but I will applaud him, sent me an email where he told the company that he didn't feel like having Jessie Craig from PWCC on would be a good message for their channel and their content. And I cannot applaud that enough. More of you guys out there who care about this hobby with your tens of thousands of subscribers, have the freaking balls to say, no, Jessie Craig, you can't come on my channel. No, PWCC, you can't be here. Guys, until we correct that behavior, this hobby is going to continue to be rampant by scammers, grifters, thieves, forgers, trimmers. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And if you care about the hobby, if you care about the kids, do something. Vote with your dollars and speak up. Okay? Simply ask, why do you have PWCC on your channel? I thought we decided they're a bad company. And if you have stuff with PWCC or alt, why? Right? The number one reason why people use PWCC, they make more money in the auction. As I've said before, people could justify anything for money. Anything. If they're making enough money, they'll, oh, well, you know, I make more money on PWCC. I don't really like them, but I get a bigger check. Great. At least we know who you are. My last comment, I don't know if I got this one because I'm on a little rant here. Going back to that stock market, as we watch the correction, and in my opinion, watch cards just crumble, like you're going to see football people get crushed this year. Because what we're seeing, guys, is sports cards in the past, their value did go up, but it was based on rarity, it was based on exclusivity, and it was based on actually career performance, judged on a year-to-year basis, not week-to-week or night-to-night, right? The days of watching a card go up, you know, in value because of a 40-point performance, I'm not going to say they're over, but that's a correction of behavior to look for, right? If a friend of yours tries to tell you, oh, XYZ had a great night, you should go buy his card, tell him to chill, right? Also remind him, when you talk about market cap of a stock, I was at the card show this weekend, selling cards, by the way. But when I sold 5 of a card, I didn't sell the same card at the same price. The guy would say, oh, I'm buying 5. Do I get a discount? The answer is, of course, yes. You know why? Because when you buy cards in quantity or bulk, you pay less. Try that in the stock market. Go ahead and put an order in for 10 shares of Apple stock and say, hey, don't I get a discount, man, because I'm buying 10? No. So the next person that tells you sports cards are like stocks, tell them to shove it up their ass. Have a great day, guys. Really, really just feeling it today. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please like. Don't like, freaking dislike. And leave a comment if you dislike too. Don't just leave a comment. I do like them. And have a good day, man.